Hi everyone, Corrie Thorne here, coming in to do our energy update and the new moon energy for the weekend of the, the weekend of the 19th of May, 2023, as we are coming into a holiday weekend here in Canada. I don't know if it is in the US, but it's a holiday weekend here in Canada. And so we do have this new moon energy coming in. We have this on tomorrow, the 19th and 20th, I believe it falls into, or during the weekend. And so this new moon energy is in Taurus, and this new moon energy does speak of, it does bring through the energy of a more nurturing, kind, loving, a softer energy, but also a really solid energy. So it has that kind of rock solid. It's like that sense of, God, you promised me. God, you promised me. You promised me I would see a change. God, you promised me that if I was just patient, if I just waited. And I feel like all of those things that we have been seeking and asking for within the universe, I feel like in one way or the other, we get what we need, not what we want. But it's like we're seeing some of these things come to fruition within our lives. We're going to be starting to experience some miraculous shifts and changes that are happening, whether it's in our own lives or it's on a world scale. We're going to be starting to notice those things that are taking place. We also tie into this energy of being a time of where luck is on our side. Luck is on our side. Good, the positive energy, that sense of it's a good time to set those really strong intentions, to start to build the things that you have been planning in your dreams, start to bring those things to life, start to create the space for those things that you really, really, truly have been putting on hold and not really doing that. It's this time to start to bring that forward now, like really start to say, okay, I'm going to put that first stake in the ground. I'm going to dig that first hole to start building the foundation. I'm going to start to do the things that I really, truly want to do. I'm going to start having those conversations. I'm going to start having some of those difficult conversations. I'm going to start communicating through my messages that I really need to say, those things I've been suppressing, instead of being aggressive or like in passive aggressive, instead of, just kind of always nitpicking. I'm going to have the courage to say what I need to say, to speak that truth, to set myself free of that energy. And so and you may find that sense of a call within you, and that sense of wanting to really, truly speak that, like really bring that in. And if you're really feeling that call, if you're really connecting to that energy, you feel like something's like bursting from the inside, you're like, I just have to let this out, is a good time to just like kind of let it out. It's like that piñata. It's been hit by we've been hit and banged by the universe so much in trying to kind of get us to open, And finally, it's like, we're going to break open and all the goodies are going to come out. All the good things, all these goodies are there. And so there's all kinds of goodies that are within us. There's all kinds of good thoughts, good ideas, good plans, good possibilities. There's just so much of this goodness that is just trying to get its way out, trying to work its way through. And so it's like, when we let it fall, it's like, but who are we going to give it to? Who do we share it with? Who do we share our love with? Who do we share our good news with? Who do we share our fortunate times with? Who do we share those things with? Because you really want to share everything that you're accomplishing, everything you're proud of, every little secret you're letting come out, everything that you have happening like that. You really want to share it with people who are going to celebrate you and not going to, instantly try to cause doubt, kind of gaslight you, nothing like that. So anything that's great, anything that's exciting, anything that you have coming up that you really want to do, that you really want to make happen in your life, if you want to start talking about your dreams and start letting them out, make sure you're doing it with someone who's going to be your cheerleader, who's going to be there for you, who's going to be, who's going to support, your highest good. And that includes what version of you is going to show up. What version of yourself is it going to be that insecure one? Is it going to be your self-saboteur? Don't let that self-saboteur, ruin some of these things that you have happening. Don't negotiate away the best parts of yourself right now. This is a time to really, truly stay in the deepest connection with you, to know that your way, your journey, those things that are happening are really truly destined for you. This is a time that also brings in miraculous changes. This, is things that couldn't happen before can all of a sudden happen. I just feel like there's like just like this bigger and larger than life energy. So even though it is a rooted and grounded energy, it can be larger than life down here and not so larger than life up here. So it may be something, I feel like this is it's a very human energy. It's a very rooted, grounded energy. It's very connected to the earth. With it brings in, like I said, a lot of warmth. And I just feel like we're even going to be warming up on a world scale. Like, it's just like, we're just going to all of a sudden be hitting like these extraordinary heats and extraordinary heat wave energies. And so the same thing that's happening out there, see it happening in you. It's like, you feel this inferno of a fire. So there's a lot of sensual, a lot of sexuality energy that's tied into this as well. You may find yourself finally wanting to kind of start to reveal parts of yourself and your truth, and to really truly start to step into finding those pieces of you. And it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship. It doesn't matter. It's not about sex. It's about sensuality. It's about truly honoring that divine energy that is just saying, I am worthy, and I'm beautiful, and I have this to give, and that I have this to give to myself, and the way you walk and the way you feel about yourself, and really truly working through the energy of restoration of that self-esteem that I've been talking about forever. It's been like my ongoing conversation everywhere. It's my mission. And so there's just this, I feel like it's just like really truly put on the flowy outfit, style your hair, put your makeup on if you want, wear those nice earrings, do those things that are really truly tied to you, that connect to you, that make you feel special, that make you feel the love, that allow you to feel this love, so that you can feel the universe, you can feel the guides, you can feel everything just kind of wrapping around you, just like sit, like if I could just like, it's like there's just such a love to it. There's just such a warmth to it. There's just such a knowing to it. It is so grounded, so rooted, so knowing. But this is where to be very careful. Just because you're in that groove, be aware that it doesn't mean we still got everything right or we've got everything all figured out. So be aware of arrogance and pride in the unhealthy way. So in the way of saying, it's like, I'm so proud of myself for where I am. I know I have accomplished lots, and I know others can do it too, but I made the choice to do this. I did this for me, not the whole, look what I did. Now it's time for you to go do something about yourself, right? Like, not to knock somebody else down, but to use the power of this, and not to be hard on previous versions of yourself. That's where arrogance plays out the most. That's where the pride plays out the most, is that we will downgrade and beat down the previous selves that we were to rise up the self that is here now. You don't ever do that. That's not the way we do things. It's like, you had nothing to keep making up for. You had nothing to make up for. You had nothing to be better than before. You were learning, you were growing, you were evolving, you were finding out more about yourself. So this is where turning that around and just saying, I got so much to be able to share with all versions of myself. I got so much that I have learned from my past that has created who I am becoming now, that's coming into me now, that's given me this opportunity to be the best version of myself. And so we have some really strong goddess energy in this. And so there is some strong goddess energy. I can just feel it. I can just feel this like new moon goddess energy. I can feel the dancing. I can feel the drumming. I can feel it all. I can feel it just through my feet, through my spine. I can feel it just like rising up inside of myself, in the way of like, it's just like that kundalini, right? It's that sense of reaching that potential. It's a really good time for us to be able to know that where we are, we can meet and match the potential for where we are. It doesn't mean that it's not all about your big dreams. It's about the little things that we do right now. How can I really truly invest in this now? How can I be a part of this where I am with who I am now? I don't have to be all the way there. I don't have to have life all figured out. I don't have to have it perfected. but I can dance in this. I can celebrate this. I can be present with myself in this. And I can really acknowledge that I've really done a lot of really great things. So there's a sense of restoration, like a rebirth into that sense of that true sense of believing in self, understanding how important it is to believe in you, if you don't believe in you, why would anyone else believe in you? If you don't believe in you, why should anyone else believe in you? The one person that you're seeking out the most is you. The one person who's fought the hardest for you is you. And it's, if you didn't believe in yourself, you wouldn't have fought so hard for yourself. And so these are little white lies we tell ourselves, and they create narratives, and they create the archetypal roles, the essence that we put out there of ourselves. And so this is a shift, a change. It is about really truly like listening to your own conversation, listening to the conversation that you're having in your own head. Listen to how you're speaking to yourself, letting yourself come back into this thought and go, who was I really speaking to right there? Who was that really for? So if you're constantly making statements such as, this is how we work in shadow work on such a big level, is that when shadow gets called up and out, and then it gets reversed back onto you, and you can see it, and you're like running for the hills, and you're like looking to kind of blame everyone else, it's you, right? It truly is you. Your shadow is a part of you. And so there may be parts of yourself that it is time for you to really look at you. And so all the time that you're creating a story in your head about somebody else, it is time to look in at you with love and say, oh yeah. And that energy will you'll be able to start to realize that that's how you start to make peace, is that you're not going to rid yourself of the self. You're going to dance with it. You're going to recognize that it all appears at different times, but you got to meet the shadow just like you let other people meet the shadow. And so it's not someone else does not give you your emotional response. You do. And so this energy that's a part of the sensuality. It's a huge part of the sensuality, that driving force that kind of gets us to rise that momentum, that rise that sense of desire and passion in ourselves, like passion to be right, passion to be in control, the passion to be there. Well, all of that is that of the shadow. But to really truly embody passion, to be truly passionate, is that we get this driving force, not an obsession, not to become obsessed with something, not to become, in this, continual story, but to let go and let freedom reign, right? I just got that song. I'm like, just letting like freedom just create an image or a message, or, knowing, or whatever it may be. And it'll be imperfectly perfect, but you find yourself falling into it. You find yourself like wanting to dive deeper into it, to know more about it, because you become more passionate about this sense of self. It's like looking at artwork, right? It's like, that kind of got a creepy feeling, but yet I want to know more. But it's like, it's not about diving deep down into trying to know more about somebody who is not good for you. It's about knowing more about the you that keeps presenting itself for you. And that energy is all around us. We have it so big, so powerful in this weekend's energy. And so this new moon is about setting the intentions. And what intentions are you going to set in the, when we sit in the dark, when we sit in the darkness of the new moon, it literally is where darkness exists. And so in that darkness is that we get to be at not really being called up and out with that sense of our shadow, but to be able to sit with love and peacefully with it. And what intentions of healing, growth, evolution, what intention do you really truly need to set for yourself to finally start to be able to allow yourself to now evolve through a new story, and bringing to life that sense of yourself that comes back into the light, that comes back up, that is coming into this new time, that's coming into this new energy, that's making these big changes and shifts that is around us. Oh. I feel like it's not going to be a very quiet weekend, though. I do feel that there's a lot of energy that says it's not going to be a very quiet weekend. There's going to be as much as there's, fortune and good luck and miraculous things, there is out there, and you can't stop the world from happening. There is out there some real, true, collides happening, some collides. And I don't know how those collides come in, but I just feel like we have some colliding or conflicting energy that's there. And it feels like it's on a massive universal and scale. Almost like, those weekends when you get everything planned. You get everything planned and you're going to go on a camping trip and you're going to do all the things. You make all these plans to go on a holiday. And then all of a sudden, everything shuts down. And you can't get the banks don't work. You have no cash. You've not prepared for that part. You've cooked all the marshmallows and the wieners and all the stuff you need for the fire. You've done all those things, but now you don't have the cash to go get what you want because everything now is shut down and you never took out cash. That's kind of energy that I'm seeing. There is something kind of suspicious-y kind of energy. I'm like, where are you creeping in from? And why are you creeping in here? And so it's a part of that sinister energy that I bring up in my yearly message. And I'm like, there is something that just feels like raining on our parades, like type of stuff, not for everyone, but it's like, it's just out there. It's energy that is out there. It doesn't mean it's going to affect you personally. It's just on a world scale. Like I just see something that's happening on a world scale. And it just feels like it ruffles the feathers and it makes you feel like it's not going to happen. But on the flip side of that, we do have this miracle energy coming in. So we just like when things feel like they're going to go really, really bad, really, really wrong, all of a sudden there's a tide of change. There's a wind of change. There's something that brings forth that change. So your world, and so this is coming from the everyday goddess as well. So you may feel as if everything is upside down. You may feel like the world is totally upside down. It is truly going to be about faith, right? What is, we can access, where can we access our sense of imagination, creativity, recreate, replan, change our plans, do something else, do something, maybe we're never meant to go that direction. Maybe you were never meant to go on that journey. But what if it's a journey to do something more magical? What if this is a divine intervention? So whatever's coming feels like it's being intercepted by this divine intervention. And I believe I spoke about this somehow last week or the week before. I can't remember, but I just had deja vu. This conversation has happened before. And I've had this conversation. And then we have 4 and we have 44. The guides, the angels are so with us. The holy realm is so with us. The goddess energy is so with us. And so this one being Frida, and she is the stargazer in the upright. She's got the world in her hand. She's holding it. The card came out in reverse. So it does speak something about attitude and, how quickly we can go from all excited and all this trust because everything is going smooth. But when things go sideways, can we maintain the same faith, the same momentum, the same, keep that energy? Can we maintain that energy when not everything goes our way? And I've been going through this challenge for the past few years. It's like, I've still had to keep going. I still keep showing up. I still keep doing everything that I do. Yet everything in life has been like dismantling. It's like the blocks are falling as fast as I'm making steps. And it's just like everything has been just constantly in that energy. And so it feels like there's like this shift and tides are finally turning in that story. But this colliding, this sinister energy over here is being intercepted. And so the angels, the guides, I feel like are intercepting in something that could be even worse. So if something doesn't work out that you're going to do this weekend, just say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for saving me from whatever that was. And this is the everyday miracle she is. So she is the everyday miracle. You're the everyday miracle. And so you're the way you react, the way you respond. Do you let things totally ruin your day, your life? Do you let things just destroy, all the momentum that you had, the good energy? No, you just put the energy to use in a different way. Don't be afraid to use your energy to bring forth this change. But and of course, the whales ties into the Akashic records as well. And so I feel like as a prophet, as a seer, as someone who can really truly predict this energy and the cycles and watching these changes, is that I just feel like it's like something is upside down. And it's like, and we've been here before. And because this energy is here before, it means there's something that we didn't get right the first time, and it's time for us to start getting it. And so we have the performer, we have Sasha coming in. And Sasha, the performer, is in the upright. And so we don't have to wear a mask. We don't have to pretend. If you're not feeling that groove, if you're not feeling that great energy, don't pretend. It just means, your shift and change is coming at a different time. Be honest with yourself. Be very authentic to your truth, to how you're feeling. And so this would be a 3, which brings us into mind, body, soul connection. And this would be where spirit steps in. So it's like, you could be planning for the party, planning for the weekend, and everything goes sideways. You're not going to let it take you down. You're going to know that the divine angels, the guides, have got a plan. And I feel like it's like everything that is happening is going to be somehow, there is some interception, like intercepted. I feel like something is just coming in. There is as beautiful as this energy is, and as beautiful as we're seeing it, there is something of a glob of something on the outside, of something on the outside that is just like, yeah, okay, a new moon should be this way, but life doesn't always work that way. There is something that is not following suit to everything that should be happening right now. It's like, this is a bit of a shitstorm kind of energy. And like everything that of how it should go, because the new moon says, the energy says, no, there is something that is messed up. There is something that is not in alignment. There is something that is like, not really working out the way that it should. So it may be the weekend that you get this absolutes of knowings, validations, like those type of things coming in. And so the awareness of truth, Karina. And so this card speaks about really, truly knowing who we are. When we know who we are, we know we're not. And so when you know your spirit, when you know the essence that you are so much more than everything you've told yourself, that the version of you that you think you are is often not you, because you got to break up with that version to find out who you are. It's a whole part of my work. I don't know. But it also, so this also, because so that's on the shadow side of it. On the light side of this, man, there is some big, powerful, good energy bringing in some big ass changes, and in a good way. So we have stories and we have energy, and all is floating around out here. It always is. We always have the good. We always have this, but this is a very divine, like, I just got this, like, I keep connecting into the angels. I keep connecting into the guides. And I'm just like, I just want to pull up. Like, I just want to feel like it just feels so generous and kind and good to us. And so there is the sense of just this goodness that is also there with us this weekend, which I love. So this is over here. It doesn't mean it's even going to hit it. It could be fully intercepted, but it's like, and it's not, I don't know how to put it. I really don't even know how to put it. I want to cry, because either which way, whether it's this way or that way, it is bringing new beginnings. Either which way, it's going to bring forth endings and beginnings. And there's just so many new beginnings that are taking place. And so being in check with your emotions, being connected to yourself, and don't be so quick to be out there, feeling like you have to give everyone the opinions of how you got it right and they don't, right? It's like, I don't know. And I just keep saying, I don't know, because that's how I connect to my channel. That's how I connect to divine, is like, I don't know, but they know, and I become the clear vessel. And I don't want to be given the opinions, right? You don't want to, you just want to trust that what's coming. And I believe there's good opportunities here. We have the Ace of Swords, which does speak of new beginnings and changes in the air. And I just feel like it's like Archangel Michael is just coming in and cutting through this energy. I keep getting valor, like valor. I feel this valor energy, like just being like, it just feels like, yeah, valor. That's the only word I can, but it's powerful. There's a lot of power here. There's a lot of divine masculine and feminine energy. It's very balanced, in harmony, very in sync in so many areas. Like I said, except for this one little spot, but that's okay. And this is the King of Cups. And so this King of Cups, he's like, he's emotionally stable. He's got it figured out. Now, he is be by the planet. Is this, by, so where's Saturn? What's happening? I feel like we have a Saturn and Venus, or Mars and Venus. Like, I feel like Venus is very actively around this new moon energy as well. And it's in Taurus. I'm like, and I feel like if you look at the constellation, I just keep getting that we're seeing, like, wherever the whale is. I feel like the whale is somehow in here, like the Akashic records. You may be starting to have these flashbacks, or this desire to like something, like have a craving, a food craving for something you've never had before, that you just get this desire, you want to do something you've never done before. And it's just like the awakening of that soul essence of ourselves. Like there's something anew coming online within us. So there's a breakthrough, a breakout. There is like challenges that are, there's not challenge. No, there is challenges, but there's like these things that are not here to challenge us, but here to set us free. And then we have the Page of Swords, and in reverse. So I just feel like there's a little bit of, I'm going to say the way that I'm seeing this is a little bit of like the immaturity, right? So there's a little bit of immaturity of not knowing how to behave or how to respond, because there's a lot of rebirth energy. So there's a lot of sense of not having a sense of things haven't matured. That's it. Things haven't matured. It's like all the things that we want to see fully come in, the intentions that we set. Remember, we're setting the intention. It doesn't mean everything has fully matured. It means the energy has now touched you. There's been like the magic wand of the universe has just touched you. God has touched you. You've just been touched by the angels. And now you're being seen. It's like, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I get you, I understand you, I know where you are. Now that I have found you, things are coming your way. Just stay still. Don't go on the run. Don't go escaping. Don't go avoiding. Don't go taking off from things. Don't let the self-saboteur come online. Don't negotiate this away. Stay right where you are. And it'll come to you, or things will come to you. And of course, all this brings in another 4, right? So 4 amplified, right? And so there's this amplified energy. And I just feel like we just, I don't know, I'm so happy with this energy that we have, and the satisfaction and the joy that it does bring into our time. But I'm also very aware, and I, holding that space for people who are going through challenging times. Not everyone in the world gets to experience all of this at one time, but there is going to be some sort of change, a chain. There's a chain of events. There is a chain of events that is going to unfold that becomes like a domino effect. And it could be that just knocks over all the crappy stuff, right? And it just, it's like it just, but there is a domino effect energy that is happening. And I'm like, that's interesting to me. Interesting. See, there's the Tower. The Tower is still here. And we've been going through, this Tower retrograde is over. I'm like, where is this coming in? And I love the Tower card. I love the Tower card. The Tower card to me is truly about, it's about freedom. It's about those things that we finally set ourselves free. So if you've been holding a secret, if you've been holding things in your heart and you finally let them out, you finally let it free. You finally speak that truth, whatever it may be. It is liberating. It's like a weight lifts off your shoulder. You feel lighter. And it doesn't mean things are going to get easier instantly, but it's that you finally got it out, finally letting it out of yourself. Like, and that's what it feels like. And so this when you meet with the Tower card and meet with these Tower moments, there's so much to be discovered. There's so much to be learned. And so diving deep into the Tower and taking that journey through the Tower is like, maybe it is to just kind of root out the weeds, right? Just root out the weeds that are in your stories, clean out the energy. And so that Tower is still, the Tower card doesn't leave the tarot deck, even when the universe says the times were over. So everyone is in a different experience. Everyone's in a different energy. The major arcana, major Tower moments like that are still present with us. But then we have the World card. Interesting. Same thing as we had the my world card upside down, right, in reverse. And then we have she is the miracle card. And that's the last card in the deck, right? And so the endings and new beginnings. And this brings in the World card, and her heart, her chest is wide open. So sometimes this Tower moment frees us so that we can truly liberate ourselves to be able to finally be able to move forward, finally have that sense of freedom, that you're not holding it in. You're not sitting in resentments and, disillusions and having to tell yourself a whole lot of stories. That I feel like there's a breath, like being able to breathe in. And so when the chain of events, when this happens, it gives us an opportunity for that. So it's like the this and that, right? So when there's an ending, it gives us an opportunity for a new beginning. When something is revealed, then now it's out. It gives us an opportunity to heal it, to resolve it, to release it, right? To make a change, to change things, it can be like putty in our hands, right? We can take out what is no good, and we can, start sculpting and creating and designing a new story, a new life, a new something. But when we spend our lives with our head in the sand and in the unknown or pretending, then we can't make those changes. So it's an interesting weekend, and it's an interesting time. See, Two of Pentacles. We got the this and that story. Is the ship coming in or is the ship going out? What's happening? And so, I love to leave things for us to be curious about, but I also love it to the unknown, and just, allow things to just unfold sometimes, to just let things show you. So those aha moments, or those unexpected, beautiful experiences and moments that show up. And if you're not seeking them, and you're just flowing through life and just letting it come in, I just feel like that's kind of where we are. Something just told me to go to the bottom. We have the Two of Cups, right? So here's another two. Here's the union, right? So there's a lot of union of soul. So this is a very good weekend for relationships also, to resolve, heal, begin anew, release, let go, whatever it may be. But this brings us into that of, twin flame energy. So there's a lot of that twin flame energy, a lot of that passion. It goes back to that sensuality, that sexuality that I was talking about. It goes back into that sense of, I want to say love is in the air. Love is magical. And there's magic in the air. And I just feel like it's like, and so this could be, that relationship with the soul, with yourself, whatever it may be. But, yeah, I feel like there's this and that, and our whole weekend's going to be tied to this and that. It's going to be, and which, we have a choice. We always have the choice, right? What am I choosing? What am I choosing to absorb? What am I choosing to believe? And it's always our own personal choice, and we make those choices, and everything is your choice. Remember, nobody can override your free will. It's always your choice to choose to do the things that we do. And so now don't get me wrong, there's situations and times in our lives like that you didn't choose someone to nab you or to do things to you or whatever that may be, but how we let it take us away from our peace. And so I'm speaking everyday things here. Remember, this doesn't replace any medical, psychological. I'm speaking of life events, right? And so nobody can take our minds from us. Nobody can take our hearts. Nobody can take that sense of us from us, our light, and we can choose to step back into our light. We can choose to empower ourselves. We can choose to change directions, to walk a new way, to seek help, to seek healing, to do those things. But nobody else can choose it for us. We have to choose it. And when we say yes to us, we start to answer the call of the divine and of our own soul's journey. And the divine destiny often looks nothing like the destiny that we try to force into our own lives. That's what we got. So have a beautiful weekend. And thank you so much for always listening. If you're new to my channel and you like these messages, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also catch me on Facebook if you want a personal reading with me, or you want to order an emailed reading for yourself with a 2, 3, or 5 card. You can do all of this directly on my website. The emailed readings are, when you go into the booking, there's a little thing at the top part, and it just says to purchase. So it's like where you purchase from. And then the booking appointments is below that, and you can book an individual session, your one-on-one video session or phone session with me, whatever you prefer. You can also purchase my books on Amazon and check out the MTE Academy. And yeah, and much love. Have a beautiful day. Everything you need to know is directly on my website. Go to CorrieThorne.com and check out all of my work and all of the upcoming events. Much love. Bye-bye.